Hi, hunters. Thank you for tuning into the Flush 'em and Dustin podcast, brought to you by Nick and Tyler, the boys from Ring Next Retrievers. In this podcast, we will talk about guns, dogs, gear, and our successes and failures in the field through our combined 40 years of experience. We speak with hunters just like you from across the nation about their days in the field and the many memories they built with their friends and family. We are excited to have you listen. Now let's get to Flushing and Dustin.
Hunters, welcome back to another Flush 'em and Dustin podcast. We're doing a power hour tonight, and we're going up over Upland Vest. So we're excited to get into this. We have multiple people on that are going to go over multiple different types of vest. Super excited about this. Hopefully we can bring some exposure to the markets for you, give you a good idea of what vests are out there and get going. So first off tonight, we have Dusty Rhodes out of... Oh God, where are you from again? Montana, yeah. So Dusty, you want to hold your vest up? Give us a rundown of it. I'm gonna put you on display.
All right, cool. All right, so I purchased this year the brand new Final Rise Legacy vest. They came out with it in August, and it is a bit more of a slimmed down version from their Summit vest. And after listening to a lengthy Instagram post by Matt Davis, I was kind of sold on it. It seemed like it would fit my needs. And it was a little bit cheaper of a price point. Their Summit vests, I think, are somewhere like over in the 300 mark, and then you can add attachments and everything. This was rolling in at like 230.
Nice.
So just tried to, save a little bit, and just kind of, so I guess the main differences is the Summit has a lot more attachments. It has kind of like bar tack and molly on it. And there's a few more compartments on the Summit that this does not have. So I just kind of was thinking that based on what it has, it would work for my needs. And all in all, I think it did really well. When I first got it, I mean, pulling it out of the box, it was so light, it almost felt it to me. It almost felt it almost kind of felt like it was so light. It was I'm like, oh, this just kind of. But honestly, I think with just the materials that it's made out of is awesome. But one of the most features that stand out is the waist belt. Up here in the back, you've got a really nice padded lumbar support, and it's all kind of adjustable and removable, and it's got a nice rubberized kind of back so it doesn't slip. Let's see, kind of a mesh back for breathability. It's got these two pretty big shell pockets right here in the front. And where this one differs from the Summit is these just kind of have a simple Velcro closure. I think that one, the Summit, has a zippered closure, and it's got kind of a little bit of maybe like a key pocket, or, you can kind of stash some other stuff. But for me, in the right one, the right shell pocket, I just kind of put shells in. And then my left one, I've got, a cell phone and kind of a small multi-tool, pulling burrs, things like that. I can put, the cell phone and the car keys. I kind of wish up here in the front, there was maybe a small zippered pocket just for keys. If we're really splitting hairs, but then again, it's like, if I really wanted that, why not get the Summit vest? But the sides of it, it's got here on the sides, two water bottle pouches, which fit the gun dog water bottle, and it'll fit an Nalgene, and it doesn't seem fall out or anything like that. I haven't had any issues with it. It does have here in the back, I guess the back flap, it's got a zippered pocket right here that kind of is this whole back panel space. So, I mean, I put a little small med kit in there, kind of a flat folding kind of dog med kit myself. I kept a license in there. some trauma shears. I found those were really nice with kind of cutting burrs off the dog and everything. Yeah, I guess you could put your, car keys and stuff back here. I guess the only downside would be you got to take the vest off to get it. But and as far as this vest, there really isn't. Well, he was saying that it doesn't have like the back molly and everything to attach their other accessories, but it does have two little molly slots right here that are for like the layer leashes. And at first I didn't think that I would need them. I just, because I've been running this. I ran it from September to January 1st. And early in the season, start with a jacket, and then I was stuffing it in the game pouch. Then I realized that's kind of silly because, that's where the birds go. So I bought kind of the layer leashes and a little bit of two little keepers, and you can just kind of roll your jacket up here and cinch it down. And I feel like that works really well. But
yeah, for sure.
I think if I'm really like splitting hairs on it and everything, I think my one desire would be if this one just had one more little zippered key pocket, that would be cool. I guess I could always use the back, but then I've got to take the vest off. But and the let's see here. The other thing that I kind of did to it, it came out, it was a little bit, it had kind of a aggressive edge that I just kind of taped, was these little ends right here. The corners were a bit pokey on the arms, and they're the adjustment tabs. So I was like, okay, that kind of is a little sharp. So I just put electrical tape on it. But other than that, I think, this vest was great. I really had no issues with it. I feel like there's really good instructions on sizing and everything. You cinch it down, it can hold a lot of weight, keeps everything off your shoulders. Game bag, is really roomy, can reach and everything. And it's nice, the shell pockets are off to the side. So if you're walking and stepping there up front or anything, it's a big upgrade from just kind of the Shields, old school vest that I was using.
The old game hides.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
What about your handheld for the dog? Where do you have the handheld for the dog?
Oh yeah, that I was gonna bring it in for the so it's got these right around the waist strap. It's got these two D-rings up in the front, right around the buckle, and I literally just right by this pocket here, I've got the sport dog on a carabiner right here, and I just basically reach down at my waist actually and control it with my left hand, and then I can
So Nate, I was actually looking at that brand today, and they do have a holder specifically for Garmin 200s and 200 eyes.
Where at?
It's up to you where you want to attach it. The only thing I noticed is like it has a bungee cord that goes between the antenna, and I don't have the 200 eye, so I'm not familiar with how the top looks. Basically, it bungees it in so it doesn't fall out. So you'd have to undo that to pull it out, or you just leave it undone to pull it out. So I don't know. And I think the 200 eye might have does it have a back clip to it by chance?
I don't know. I run the 100.
Okay. Because I know like the one that Dusty has, and then the one we'll get into with Hunt Ready, they have a cross strap that I just put mine on, and I can
something like this.
Okay.
You could probably do something like this for the 200 I imagine.
You probably could,
Clip on the back.
Yep. So awesome. Dusty, that was a
so
great
no side load, Dusty. No side load on that vest.
Like as far as like
right.
from the no, just kind of just kind of reach back. But I feel like it's I had to kind of at first, the waist strap, I had it maybe kind of riding a little bit too high, and then I kind of adjusted it kind of lower on the lumbar, and that kind of brought the game bag down for reaching in and things. before season, I kind of, practiced with one of the docking dummies, one of the deadfall pheasants. And I kind of, see just to see what, if I'd put my socket reaching back, how it needed to be. But yeah, it's a pretty good roomy game bag. I wish I had more birds to put in over the season, but that's a story for another time.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, we appreciate that overview.
I want everybody to put their vest on and do that, just like Dusty did. That was great.
That was awesome.
Thank you, sir.
I love that.
Thank you, sir.
That was a great overview. Great view of the vest.
Like a salesman. If enough people are on and have different vests, I mean, it could be a good place for people to come for a good guide, because I mean, there really is a thing. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really searched YouTube or anything, but I don't know if anybody's done a review over like this legacy vest or the Summit, or comparing it to, a Hunt Redi or like an Orvis or anything like that. I think this could be a good shopping spot for people,
Absolutely.
For sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Dusty, we appreciate that overview.
Next thing you
We'll
know,
let you.
Tyler and Nick will have us doing calendars and stuff. Shirts off, vests on, calendars.
You got that right.
Flush
We're
them
not
and dust them.
we're not firefighters, but it's the Upland crew getting all the chicks, I guess. I don't know.
I'll just wear my little game hide one, then you can't see anything. Right? It's like a coat.
Nobody wants to see anything anyways, Nick. So we're good. Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for the opportunity to come on and talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But-
have the rest of your night.
Yeah, have a good
Thank
night,
you,
work.
Dustin. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Who wants to go next? Dave, do you want to go?
Sure.
Awesome.
So I have the Orvis Pro Series, I guess they call it. And I've got 4 seasons on it now. And kind of when I bought it in 2018 before the season started, kind of before Hunt Redi and Chief Upland and all those vests. Before that, maybe Nate remembers, but Q5 was about one of the few.
Yep.
And all of a sudden 2019, 2020 rolls around, we got choices everywhere. And, I already put $200 into this. So I'm like, I'm not going to switch now, but actually I like this vest. They missed on a few things. So I'll just go over my favorite parts and the things that I don't like. The things that I really like are the shell pockets. They're huge. It's really thick Cordova material. So over 4 seasons, I haven't even had a fray. I mean, it's super durable. I feel like it's going to last forever. The belt has got a lot of padding in it. It is a little warm in early season. Adjustment. I mean, it's got a belt big enough for a 50-inch waist guy for some reason. I don't know why. So you have to kind of tuck these extra lines in behind the pocket. I mean, or you could cut them, but they just have so much waist capacity. And it's also got a lot of adjustment from the shoulder straps down to the bag. Miles of it. I don't know. An 8-foot guy could wear this thing, I suppose. But one
Are the
thing I
pouches
like,
up front, are they fixed, or can you slide them?
they're fixed. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
definitely,
okay.
they're sewn on, which they do sit to the side. So you don't get that kind of thigh slap like you do with some. So they work out really well, in my opinion. I like them because I'm a YouTuber also. So I carry a full-size mirrorless camera, and then I've got GoPro and stuff on my head and all that stuff. So I can fit my mirrorless camera inside this pouch and kind of close the flap to keep it out of the weather. Alternatively, you could put it in a bird's pouch, but it's full of feathers and all kinds of other shit. So the bird pouch is it's pretty big. It's not a front loading or side loading at all. So you're stuck with it in the back. But it does expand on the bottom. It's got these straps that you can undo and kind of release the whole capacity, I suppose. I never do because, you know, if you're under 3 birds, then it fits fine. It has a small storage compartment in the back where I keep a first aid kit, tape, Leatherman, all that kind of stuff. So it's just about the right size for that. It does have a little compartment here. It's kind of felt lined, so you can put your phone in there, not worry about your screen getting scratched up. I don't, because I use my phone on X for tracking and whatever else. Here's my dog. He's going to come up. Every time he smells this vest, he thinks we're after it.
He's ready to go.
And when it's sitting here right next to my face, it's a little fragrant, to be honest, you know, after 4 seasons. So the back, it does have a water pouch container. If you use that, I don't like those. I like water bottles. I kind of like these mesh nets for water bottles, because you always got leak and you always have some water running off, and it's not kind of pooling up in a enclosed container. And they're huge. You could probably almost put a 64 ounce in here on each side, but I usually run 232s, and that's plenty. The thing where they didn't get right, and I think like Final Rise, Hunt Redi, even the Q5s did better, is the shoulder straps. I think they took too many cues from the backpack community, you know, so they're thick straps. And the whole point of a strap vest is to carry your weight on your waist. So you don't need these straps. They affect your shooting. And that's my biggest problem with this vest, is it does affect my shooting because it is so thick. I mean, it's not absurd, but it's like a backpack. So imagine wearing a backpack, trying to shoulder a gun and get that repeatability. Not so easy. So if I could just remove the top half and keep the bottom, you know, put Final Rise or Hunt Redi on top, and maybe Matt Davis is listening, he could do that. Sell me those pieces. It'd be a perfect vest for me, because the pockets are really what I like, because of the capacity for my camera gear and just to keep it out of the back pouch. So some of the other ones are a little bit smaller or narrower. I don't know if I could fit all that shit in there. So I'm hoping to see that from you guys. Maybe I can. But outside that, for the control storage, I made my own kind of, I don't know if you can see that from there, but I do some 3D printing on the side. So I made my own holder, kind of a holster for my control, because I like it up high so I can hit the buttons. I'm left-hand shooter too. That's why it's over on this weird side. And it's got nice straps here. You can kind of fix anything to the shoulder straps. So that part they got right. It's just, they're too thick. I really wish they weren't as thick. The only trouble I've had with it is this front clip is kind of broken on one side, and everything's sewn in, so I'd have to unstitch it to replace it. But it still holds. If you monkey with it, you can still get it in there. But you know, if this was metal, it'd make more sense, because you're constantly taking your vest in. And I'm a rough grouse hunter, so there's lots of walks, maybe short walks, right? Maybe a mile and a half. I'm back in the truck down to the next road. So I'm taking the vest on and off all the time. So this just kind of wore out, I think. But outside of that, I've been pretty happy with it. I paid $189 for it. I think they're a little bit more now. Maybe they went up $20.
What is it more now? You guys didn't know we're charging you to be on here, did you?
I think it's about, I want to say I saw it for like $210 maybe last season, but
yeah,
$189 at the time was a decent price. But then again, everybody flooded the market. Now we got a lot of great options now, so which is cool to see. But now it's just deciding on which one's next, because biggest bother is just those shoulder straps. You know, they overdid
How long do you think you'll keep wearing that with the new technology that's out?
I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it, and I hate to just have crap laying around, but if it improved my shooting, you know, it'd be worth it. So kind of hoping hear what you guys say about Redi and Final Rise. And I've chatted with Final Rise and Matt on Instagram a few times about it. So I think he got a lot of the cues right. So we'll see. One more season of hating it, then I'm done.
Yeah. Some vests and the way that one's hanging, I wonder about this one. What's the space you have when you're loading a bird in the bag in the back, in the game bag? Sometimes it looks like that top piece would collapse in against your back and there wouldn't be space like that, right?
Yeah.
Is that ever the case?
It can, but I haven't had any trouble with that. You know, the sides are kind of high, so you do have to reach a bit.
Yeah.
And one other kind of a problem I have with it is this kind of, I call it the droop adjustment. So it'll go way down, but what happens is, you know, it's dragging on your ass the whole time you're walking. So if I adjust it up, which is fine, but if I'm moving around the truck and I touch this, you know, it comes down again. So, you know, you could tape it and make it a little more secure. So maybe those buckles could be a little bit better. But really for the bird pouch, I haven't had any trouble with. It does unlatch, so it's easy to clean out. And to me, the front loading feature of a vest, doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. It's not that often I'm putting birds in. If I was doing it for a living, maybe, but I would rather have it. It's a little heavy. I wish it was a little bit lighter because on a long hunt, you know, a 10-mile walk or something, it is getting kind of heavy. And you do kind of feel the straps. If you don't have it adjusted right, you'll have some tension on your straps where that weight should be felt in your waist. So it takes a little bit of monkeying around with all these adjustments. And I'm sure all the other vests have this similar stuff, but they're so damn long. You know, I tape them up and they come with these little elastic kind of bands to put them in, but they're really weak and they end up just flopping out and falling out. So I end up just taping them off, but you could cut them. You get a frayed end then. And like I say, it's made from 140 pounds to 490 pound guy or something. It's strange the way, you know, the range is, but for me, I'm 6'1", 200 pounds, so it fits real nice.
Good. That looks a lot like, as you had mentioned, I compared the Orvis with the Q5 and ended up going with the Q5.
Yeah.
Based on what was shown, I think probably a good choice. I think there's
a
little bit better variability and flexibility with the Q5.
Yeah. Do you want to show your Q5 quick, Nate, while you're on the topic?
So Q5 Rimfire, I had 2 seasons I've had it. I cannot remember what it cost, but in similar price point is what Dave had shared with the Orvis. I know that. A lot of similarities between the two vests. The straps, Dave, are not they're not padded. They don't at all disrupt my shot.
That's the
I'm
way
a lefty like you, right?
Yeah.
One thing I like and why I asked Dusty about where he keeps his dog controls is whether it be the 200 that Tyler you mentioned, right, or the 100, or any GPS that you're running, accessibility and being able to get to it quickly is important, right? So like strapping it in, as you had described, Tyler, with the antenna and all that for the 200, I know that wouldn't work for me. My dogs are going on point often and I need to reference it. And yes, I use the watch and things like that, but I still want quick accessibility here. So I just bought this piece with a little clip. And I do like this about the vest. It's got a little, I don't know if you can see that on video so well, but it'll clip right in here if you can see there on both sides. So you can adjust whether you're right or left-handed shooter. I do like that about it. Probably user error on my part, but like you mentioned, Dave, sometimes I do find that the weight is heavy on the shoulder and less so around the waist. Again, I think that's like your vest. There's so many different ways in which to adjust it. And especially down low, I have found, like you mentioned elsewhere on your vest, that it kind of slips with weight. You know, usually 10 minutes into the field, I'm carrying my 3 roosters, right, guys?
Yeah.
And
I don't
the
know
vest
that. I
is
don't know
heavy.
that feeling, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No, but if I do have weight back there, sometimes it does slide. I've not taped, I've not cut. The excess length that you mentioned, Dave, I mean, there's decent amount of length in there, but it's not to a point where it bothers me. Okay. And I'm only 5'11", so you've got a couple inches on me. Some differences. The front pouches, much like the Orvis, much like the Final Rise, they are adjustable. I can move them anywhere on the band. Okay. What I don't like about it is it's all Velcro enabled, right? So behind all the bags and clear around the waist, and there is a similar attachment back here, there's Velcro around the entire thing. And that just sucks up all the seeds and crap. So you end up carrying all the stuff around, and cleaning is more of a chore than I would prefer. Okay. So I would actually personally, because I don't carry any water in the field, right? The biggest fields I'm hunting are 320 acres. I can hunt all day, just get water at the truck. I don't carry any liquids on me at all, for the dogs either, right? So I don't need a lot of accessories or pouches or anything like that. So I prefer to have something fixed, like Dave, you mentioned, and avoid the Velcro dependence there.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't like about these pouches up front, first, Velcro here, right? Exposed the entire time, never covered.
Can you raise it up?
Never covered up. Yeah. Velcro here, it's never covered, exposed to everything you're pushing through. It just collects like a mess. Here, this opens up, more Velcro, zipper. And these feel like they're made to hold a whole box of shells. 25 box of shells, just slide it in. I don't know who walks in the field with 2 boxes of shells on them, but I do not, right? So I don't use that at all.
No.
Do you? Yeah.
No, just one, maybe one.
So, and it does have additional Velcro. They love Velcro. Additional Velcro inside. Now there, obviously it's protected, but believe it or not, stuff still gets down into that.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just hard to clean. So I don't, holding keys, holding something like that in this pouch that I don't need to get to, because think about it, right? There's a zipper on top and then this Velcro over. And there's too many steps for me to easily access whatever it is in that space. What I do like about this is when I get into a field, I put either 2 or 3 shells in my gun. I walk and I'm usually, because in most times I'm deferring shots to somebody else, right? So I don't need to carry a lot of shells. But when I do have excess shells, I do like this smaller pocket up front where I can just stick, and it's easy access. I don't have to flip this up. It's an easier zipper. It's not an up and over. Instead, it's an across. And I can just throw 2 or 3 shells in here, and then usually I'm good for any field that I'm walking into. So I do like that part of this vest. Another part, and why I asked about accessibility, I think this is superior to both of the other 2 vests that I've seen. This is rigid here. If you can see, there's a ridge line here that's very stiff, and it actually runs this whole width. So it keeps form in the back. So I always have this triangle, right? If you can see that, it's always there for easy access. Where my buddy, I can't remember the name of the vest that he has, but it collapses down, which is why I had checked in with you guys on that. And the mesh, same thing, kind of like the Final Rise, but on both sides, this mesh is fantastic. It's very cooling, both sides. Back is always kept cool, accessible to the wind. You can break this apart. You can adjust everything down for easy cleaning and so on. And then as Dusty had mentioned, this back section here, for only in an emergency type situation, I get snares or safety kit or something like that on the back. So the pros are, I think the back side of this, how it keeps its form, and the mesh are superior, certainly.
Do you catch a lot of things? Do a lot of things get stuck on there when it's
in
like
the mesh?
Stick far back, yeah. With it being rigid.
No. What I do, but good question though. See, I'm pulling seeds out right now. What I have noticed though is if I'm pushing blue stem or something like that, because it's kept open, it'll collect. So seeds and stuff will collect down in the bottom of the game bag, but that's fine, right? Just turn it upside down, shake it out, things like that. If you wanted to, it has, I don't use them at all. It has zippers on the side. You could put anything in there, keys or what have you. And then on the inside, this is where I imagine people would stick a water bottle. So it's kind of in the game bag, but separated from the game itself. And it's a water resistant type. So it's not going to be permeated by blood or anything like that. So, but overall, it's I'm happy with the vest. I was one of those guys that Nick was using a game hide and the old cheap jackets, the only thing I could afford when I was young, right? So moving away from a jacket, and I was wearing the Bird and Light jacket before this. And then I switched to this, and night and day. I mean, these are by far superior for all types of weather, whether it be warm or cool. I like that you can layer underneath and you're not dependent upon a big coat.
How many seasons you got on that one?
Just two seasons. Oh. Yeah.
Cool. But, so that's their latest design, probably.
I think so. In fact, I don't know if if they're still selling or if they've been discontinued.
Yeah, they kind of slowed down, I heard, but
yeah. So something I haven't yet figured out, maybe one of you guys will know a better way, or one of our listeners, is even with the GPS being accessible, right? And since I shoot lefty, gun butt on this side, right? It still is not as convenient as I would like it to be, even with using the watch on the inside of my wrist to locate the dogs when on point via GPS. And I'm usually hunting big blue stem, so brown dogs, small brown dogs, not easy to see, right? Haven't figured out a system that's perfect just yet. So, but overall, a solid vest. Ixnay on the Velcro, and it'd be a big uptick. Other than that, pretty good vest.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. Matt, do you want to give yours about the Chief Upland?
I will. So if we have total chaos at some point during this, I apologize. Got a couple kids getting ready for bed and new canine in the house. Not in the house, outside. Dogs are barking.
You just got your new police dog, didn't you?
Yeah, he's first week. He's not trained yet, so leave for school Monday morning. So it's been it's a lot of work, that's for sure. But yeah, so first year with the Chief Upland. To be honest with you, I loved it. The only thing that there's a few things, again, like, pros, cons to everything. I'm a big guy. I'm 6 foot, 285 pounds. So I'm going to go to the bigger size, and I'm going to stick with the Chief Upland. So I heard you guys talk about how, like, the straps, these are wide, but at least they're thin. So I haven't noticed anything affecting my shooting. The biggest thing that I have to say with this is there's 3 straps that are important. The first one is like across your chest, pretty high. The second one be essentially, I would say, mid stomach. And then your last one is going to be your wider one. That's for your belt. And they actually have a 4th one on there. I removed that. I didn't think that it was necessary to have a 4th strap across there, so I don't keep that one on there.
Do you find the middle strap necessary? What are you doing? Hanging upside down?
You 50 Cent now or what?
Fair shooting.
Right. Yeah, it does. It's definitely, Dave said this, they really took the backpack part of it. Like, I
Seriously.
like it's a backpack. I mean, you can carry a lot of stuff in here, and this zips all the way down, and they got more pouches in the top that you can unzip, and then you can even keep a water bladder in here.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
I don't need that, a water bladder. Again, same with you, Nate. I don't hunt enough spots or big enough spots where I'm out where I need a water bladder. But with how big that back is, I do sweat a lot. My back does sweat a lot in this. It is really nice and padded in the inside here. So that's really nice. I love this material. Like, I don't have any problems with anything getting stuck to it or catching. And then the molly gear, everything is so you can put your attachments any way you want to put them. And I really like that. I'm excited to see with the bigger size, that things will be more to the front of me compared to reaching back. Like, I'm not very flexible, so trying to reach back to stuff kind of sucks. But
Do you order the new size on that?
I didn't hear you.
Did you order the new size?
Not yet. I have not ordered it yet. So the pouches that come with it, I think Chief Upland pouches are really good. You know, this one's got a magnet. So, and
Nice.
I put all close to a box of shells in here every time I go out, and I zip it up part way and then just use that magnet. And I've never had shells fall out. And then on the other side, nice cell phone pouch, waterproof pouch. It's really nice. You can keep your phone in there, your keys in there. I kind of I don't like the water pouch, the water bottle pouch. It's so flimsy on the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. So flimsy on top when you're trying to stick a water bottle in there. I carry one of those like Gatorade bottles you see like a basketball team or whatever would have. I have a hard time getting that in there because it's so flimsy.
Yeah.
But obviously, the Gun Dog Outdoor water bottle holder, like that's a must on this vest. Like it fits on there perfectly. I can reach it, and that goes right in there for the dog's water. One thing about it is a side load, and I really like that aspect. I'm kind of one of those guys, like when I'm out there hunting, I want to be prepared, so I have extra gloves. You know, I might have light gloves on, but also have warmer gloves, or vice versa. Or I always make sure I carry a dog leash. So in that side compartment, I can just have in the very front, I can have my dog leash, gloves or whatever. And then it slides. It slides right around to the back, really easy. Now, I'm excited to get this bigger one because when I do get a bird in the back, it seems like it gets really tight. Like it really tightens everything up. So I know Tyler and I have had this conversation about what happens. So this, again, going back to those straps, you have the top strap for your chest, and then this middle strap. This middle strap, you have to unbuckle that strap to actually access your side pouches. So it keeps everything nice and tight and formed to you. You unbuckle that. Now that lets those side pouches expand, and you can stick birds right in there. It's really simple then. If you don't have that capability with this side pouch where everything was tight, it would be miserable. So I'm glad that they do have that. Otherwise it would kind of stink. But like I said, so cons would be how warm it is. You know, the back is, it's pretty big, but a pro also is I'm visible. I am a lot of orange, so I can be seen that way. But it does get warm. Other than that, what I did is they sell this little D-ring. I just have a sport dog shot collar, nothing fancy. And I just hook that on there. So it's essentially on this top strap, and I just hook my remote on there and let it dangle, and can use that easily. So a lot of options with this vest. If you can see this black part on the strap, that's actually where you can put your remote. So it's made for, and it stretches a little bit, but like I saw your remote, Nate, there's no way that's fitting in here.
Right. What's odd about that is those cylinder reminds me of the old Tritronics or Dogtra type collars that would slide into that, right? But the game's changing with GPS.
Yep.
So it's a different fit.
Yeah. So I would actually, and I don't think I would feel comfortable putting my cell phone in here. So I'd almost just say that this is, I've never used this pouch. So I would say they could probably get rid of that. But
are those removable? I mean, for left-handed shooter, are those sewn in?
This This is sewn in. This here is sewn in. But everything else, you know, they have the molly gear on the right side or the left side here to put stuff. I mean, you could easily hook anything, carabiners, anything like that, and then
I could see myself hooking my butt of my gun on the edge of that pocket as a lefty.
Yeah, no, right. I understand what you're saying there. And then there's a leather strap here that you could hang anything on there. There's actually 2 of them on this side. So again, I super like it. I love the material and that I know it's going to stand up. I know it's going to hold up over the years. I had it for 1 year and I'm going to trade it in to get a bigger size. They just didn't have that option when I first purchased them. And I used to wear game hide vests, jackets, and I would sweat so bad in them. So this has reduced that, but it's also but instead of the front sweating as much, my back still does sweat. So I would say that's the biggest negative, really. And I wish they had something where if you were in the field, they have this thing here, this little hook layer. I can take a sweatshirt, roll it up, and then cinch it in there. But again, remember how I said that the bird would go in the pouch and then get so tight. So if I throw my sweatshirt in here, you know, or jacket, same problem. Everything's tight. So I'm hoping that the big boy size eliminates that. And then if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, but
so you should get more room regardless, just from it being a bigger size.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, they're on my side, and I just wish like the stuff is just a little bit forward more, so it's easy a little bit better access, which I obviously, again, same thing, bigger size, it should do that. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the manufacturers coming out with several sizes.
I think
Ranges kind of 3. I think this one just came in the 1. I think it still does too, but that's probably why the straps are so damn long. They're, trying to fit everybody.
Well, I actually bought this vest from Tyler originally, and then so he's a little guy, and I had to buy a bigger. They sell a big belt for underneath for your hips compared to the one Tyler had. So I just had to buy like a XX belt or whatever. Now it's huge now. I don't need that big of a belt. But, so
awesome. Oh, that's a good overview. Any other questions for the Chief Upland?
No, that was cool too. I've been kind of following him too. He's a Wisconsin guy, so I think he's up Green Bay area-ish, something like that. So kind of a neat story he's got on the way he started it. So
yeah,
definitely.
They're pretty popular. I mean, everybody I talk to seems to like them, but they do complain about the back sweat. But I complain about that with this one even, to a certain degree, but.
And I only have the one pouch for the bullets. I have another one. I have bought the other attachment. It was like it's not zipper. It's all magnet. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I didn't even try to put that on there. Like I was like, I didn't need it. So essentially I bought the attachment and for no reason, but.
I did forget to mention, these are also magnetic. They have a snap, but I never use them. I just use the magnet.
Magnet's nice.
That's a nice feature. I do like that.
Nice.
That magnet feature really sold me on those attachments. It really did. Because
all you're gonna want to do is just keep all the the shit out of there. You don't need to hold anything in.
But you can actually see on this one, you can actually see burrs and stuff still on it from the season. Yeah. It's got that stupid Velcro. And
that's right.
You don't know how many times I'm pulling that off there.
What is that? So both of our vests have that on there. Why is that Velcro on the front exposed on the front side of that pouch?
I think a lot of people are infatuated with patches, like
military patches and stuff.
Your blood type patch or bird dog patch or something on there. But I wish they would not do that. If they did not do that, this would be so much better.
So and they do make a 3 shell holder attachment Velcro
Oh,
attachment
yeah,
to put on
pretty.
there, so you can put 3 shells in there.
That's probably.
So you can
okay.
quick grab, I guess.
Because the cell phone pouch and the water bottle pouch don't have that. So just the ammo pouches do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's hear about the hunt ready.
All right.
Well,
I'll start it
I
off,
want
Tyler.
Game hide one out there.
Well, yeah, I'll give you my game hide one. I actually don't have a vest on me because I'm at a hotel tonight. But yeah, game hide, wore that for years. Just a stubborn guy, you know, don't ever want to switch. You know, change is scary type thing. So kept it. I don't know how long I hunted with that thing.
Mine was
Shit, probably
cheapness.
yeah, probably since I was in probably for 10 years I had that damn vest. And honestly, it wasn't convenient at all. It just had 2 big pouches, and then I could never get birds. I always had to take my pack off to get birds in the back. So that really sucked. The only really thing that I liked about it was when it was super cold out, it kept me warm. It was like another jacket. So I actually wouldn't wear another jacket. I just have a sweatshirt and I put that over, and I was like, oh, now I'm good. That was probably the benefit of it. But I will say the durability of it for being, I don't know what it cost, 30-40 bucks back when I bought it, still works.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's a beginner vest, and you know, I tried on Tyler's Hunt Ready vest, and after putting it on and messing with it a little bit, and then just seeing the quality and the build of it and how it sat on my hips and not on my shoulders, and then all the attachments you could have, because you know, labs, retrievers typically need more water. I know Nate says he doesn't have any, but my dog, you know, you get in going 100 miles an hour, his first 5 minutes, he's coming back for a drink of water. So, you know, we got plenty of water bottle holders on that. Yeah, and it fit really well. So I'm really excited to get out and use that in the field. And then I'll let Tyler go through the actual vest now, since he has it there.
So I actually purchased the Hunt Ready when it first came out. And I just upgraded to their newest, the newest version, which has a few updates compared to the original version. So I don't know if you guys can see me. So their newest version, a couple things that are different than mine is it has these D rings right here. That's for if you want to like hook a bladder up to the back on the inside of the game pouch. I'm not gonna be able to see it. There's another pouch back here. So if you buy a bladder that has a loophole on each side, they come with lashing straps. You can strap it, slide the bladder right into it. That's if you want that. I've never used a bladder. I do have 2 water bottle holder here, and then another one here, and that's on my waist as far up as I want it to be, so that way it's sitting like right on my hips, and my hips are taking basically the blunt of the weight, as most of the weight is coming from the water bottles that I'm holding. Then I do have a taller one back here for my own personal use. It is kind of rigid, so it's not like it doesn't collapse on you, but it does have some rigidity to it. So when you do take the water bottle out, it stays rigid. Nate, one of the things that you were mentioning on yours is it's nice and hard right here, and that's how that is too, which is super nice. I really like that feature. It's extremely easy to get birds in. I think I've carried more than 3 in it. I took it out to South Dakota when I did the help deck guide at the one lodge, and I think I've had like 6 or 7 birds in it, and they fit in there just fine, easy to put in. And then on the back, it also has so the whole back piece is Molly. So there's different attachments, which I'll get into. But this is a nice big open pouch that you can have. And then on the inside of that, it also has another zip up pouch, which I really like.
Sweatshirt in?
For you, I don't know. For me, probably. So the one of the nice things is I don't have them on here, but they have lashing straps that you can put here on the upper portion to put a coat, put a sweatshirt on, whatever you want. And then one of the cool accessories, so they're launching some more here this spring and summer. They don't have the details out yet, but some really cool ones coming out. So excited for those. But this one I really like. It's called the Rat Roll. So it actually unbuckles and you can open it up. It's kind of hard to do. Let's see if you can see it. But anyways, there's another pocket here, which I plan on putting like gauze, like some gauze pads or something in there. Haven't fully decided exactly what I'm going to do. But then it has pockets here, smaller pockets. So right now I have a wire cutter in there. You know, I'm going to put a knife in there. You know, and trying to think of other things. I haven't really thought of exactly what I'm going to put in it yet, but it does have nice options, you know, for some dog first aid kit stuff, some personal things if you need those. And then
toilet paper in there.
Yeah, some butt wipes.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you never know.
Critical.
You need them. Yeah. So that's really nice to have. It's just a nice little pouch, easy access, you know, and like I'd like to put my dog some dog first aid kit stuff in it. So that way, if an injury does happen, I'm not trying to reach into these big pockets. I can quickly unbutton this and it's easy, accessible. It's right where I need it. And I'm not trying to dig through here if I have other gear in there. So it's all in like a nice little separate location. We were talking about the straps. They're skinny on your shoulders, but they're skinny but wide enough that they feel like they're not going to fall off of your shoulder at all, and they're thin. They have just a tiny little padding, so they're not like paper thin, but just like enough so you don't feel, you know, like it rubbing on you or something as you're carrying it through the field all day. It does have basically slots all the way down on each side, which is actually really nice. So they do have a chest strap that goes across, and this is where, so Nate, I just actually purchased the Garmin one. So last year I was using the 200. Yeah. I get it. I have retrievers, so they're not going to be as used per se as much as pointing dog, but I do want to know how far they're running. I do want to keep track of them. If they do get in a snare or something, I want to know exactly where they're at, how many yards away.
Yeah, it's fun. I recommend.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy.
So what I did is I actually had the sport dog and I just had it clipped to this chest strap, and you can actually move this chest strap like up and down on your chest. So depending, like let's say your antenna is too high on the 100, you can move this chest strap down to where it's more like maybe below your pec, like the bottom of your pec area instead of higher up on your pec area, which I had to, which I did. And then I actually, my old one was just the normal size vest. And I'm just under 6'1", and I went with their taller vest this go around. And it actually fits on my hips much better. The other one was just a little too short and rode up, it felt like more. This one actually sits where it's supposed to on your hips. And the attachments are super light. So the attachment or the pouches I have, they are Velcro. I agree with Matt. The magnet part is the magnet parts are nice. You know, it's just easy to flip them magnet back so you don't have to worry about it. So this is a deeper pouch. It is pretty big. I don't know, Dave, if it is as wide as yours per se, but it is a very deep pouch, and it extends out very far, depending on what size mirrorless camera you're carrying. I can't say for sure if it would
long lens anyway.
Yeah, for sure. You know exactly what it would fit. They do have a couple new pouches that they're going to be releasing that might suffice for bigger for carrying something of that nature. So I have the deeper pouch on my left side, so I'm left-handed. and I have my shell pouch on my
Three
right side.
lefties?
Yeah, 3 lefties. I know, right?
Weird.
Couldn't believe it. And then I have my shell pouch on my right side. So when I reach in with my right hand to reload, so that works out well for me. You can adjust the back here to have it sit different to form more. Actually on this one it came fairly well. I just had to move it just a little bit. It was felt like it was sitting back a little too much, like I was walking like that, so I cinched it up a little bit, and it sits on my back a lot better. They have some D-ring, some other rings here that, if you needed to, I don't know what exactly you'd use them for. I'm sure you could find something to use them for, but it's for versatility, lightweight, durability. So my other one I bought the day they announced it at Pheasant Fest. I bought my first one that day, and I had it, I think that was 3 years ago. And I mean, Nick saw it and you could barely tell it was used after 3 years. It had
brand new.
a couple of blood stains on the back, but I mean, that's typical wear and tear, but no fraying, nothing. In Iowa you go through a lot of thorn bushes, and and I'm sure Dave up in where you hunt in the North Woods and whatnot, you're going through some pretty nasty cover up there. So I would feel this would hold up well for you. It does have a mesh back here, so coolness. I don't have to worry about that. The padding, super nice lumbar padding, nice support all the way around. And then the belt, has a belt on the bottom for your waist. So I like to, on these ones, what I have noticed, and this is probably with all waist supported vest, is when I first got it, I was like, oh, I'm going to put water bottles in the back, and leave more room. And the other way around, you're supposed to try to keep everything as far up front, like your heavy stuff up front. Otherwise, it just feels like it's pulling you back the whole time. So I try to keep my lightest weight stuff in the back, and then heaviest up front to lighter going on the way back. And it's seemed to work out well. Another option that they have come out with, this is called their run and gun belt. So it's basically your shoulder strap with your belt, and it doesn't have the bird pouch on the back of it. But there's gonna be, they haven't launched it yet, but I don't know if you can see it, but this back part is actually gonna have a bird bag. So like if you're chasing woodcock, if you're chasing snipe, if you're chasing doves, something like that, it's much smaller. Or if you're quail hunting, where you don't need a quail, you can fit 1,000 quail in, a bird bag. This one will, or one of those vests, not 1,000, but you get what I'm trying to say.
For just off-season training too.
Yeah, so I actually use this when I'm going to like the gun range. If I'm shooting trap, I'll actually put this on because it's the exact same shoulder straps as my regular vest. And I have the pouch. These two pouches are actually are the same as what's on my regular vest. So reaching in to reload is, so it becomes more muscle memory, which I really like. And then, like I said, I have to get the shoulder strap thing to go across it so it stays where it's supposed to. But this is really nice for off-season dog training. It's nice. You can carry bumpers here. You can carry extra gear. I carry on these D-rings. I carry my extra leashes, and that stuff, so I don't lose them when walking around and whatnot. So yeah, this is a really cool option that they came out with. And I'm excited for the extra accessories that they're going to be launching. They don't have them launched yet, but they will be. So
And you can't call it a fanny pack either because it's got shoulder straps. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. So
That's the vest. The first vest you had shared there, the full vest, is very similar to the Q5. I mean, there's a lot of overlap there.
Yep. And
There
I've
must have been
noticed
some inspiration there.
Yep. And First Spear is who the company that has like the attachments. What was the one that Dusty had that he came on here with?
Final Rise.
Final Rise. So I've been watching both of those, and there's a lot of similarities between both companies, and price wise, a lot of them are the same. So
what's the color scheme of yours? Do they have a name?
Coyote is
Coyote?
what mine is. Yep. And Nick has the orange one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the orange
Yeah,
one.
our vests are the exact same.
Yep. Just same attachments, just different color.
Different colors.
But I like the color. I think it's cool. I'm just gonna wear an orange shirt underneath, and my arms and whatnot are gonna give me, and my hat should give me enough orange, I would hope.
I know that the Final Rise, he's got a color like that as well, and then you can buy just a blaze triangular panel for the back, and it kind of like, I don't know if it velcros on or maybe it snaps on.
Yep.
So you can, for the Western guys, they don't have to wear orange. In Wisconsin, where I don't need orange either.
Yep.
I don't really like orange, to tell you the truth, but Illinois, I live in Illinois, and I think we have a rule for everything. So
yeah. Yep.
Well beyond orange. So
yeah. I really like it. Like I said, this will be I can't remember if this might be my 4th season wearing Hunt Redi. But
I didn't even know they were around that long. That's cool.
Yeah. It was the last.
Isn't that how long you had yours, Dave? Didn't do enough research apparently.
I guess not.
They launched at the last
in Chicago in 2018, and that's where I saw this one, and then I ended up buying it a few months later.
Yeah, so they launched at the Pheasant Fest in 2019.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
So I guess this will be my third or fourth year.
Yeah, because Matt, when did you buy your vest from him? It had to be right around the same time.
2 years ago. This is your second season or first season with it.
I think it's only my first season with it.
Yeah, because
I'll
be honest,
you bought it
wore
at
it and
Josh's place when we
pissed me
I
off,
bought
so
it when
I
we
sold
went
it.
down and hunted Bruce's.
Yeah, so it would be 1 year.
Yeah. I tried it, and I couldn't figure out how to get the bird in the bag, so I just said I'm good with it. And it fits nice. It does fit nice. It's comfortable, but I just struggled with getting the bird in that pouch, which Matt then informed me that you have to undo that button. It makes it a lot easier, which I didn't know about. So that probably would have helped. But yeah, and there's so many vests and so many options out there right now, and just
You just can't go wrong, honestly.
Well, I hope they all survive. We went from game hide, the traditional that I wore for forever, and like everybody, and then there's a few strap vests out there, and Orvis has like some wax canvas one. They have a little different one. I almost bought that, and then all of a sudden, boom! There's 5 new companies making strap vests, and I'm like, this is cool.
I think I kind of think Chief Upland is in a little bit of a realm of his own. Just with the style of his, like Matt said, it's more like a jacket backpack style.
It's almost a true hiking.
Yeah.
We have a hiking backpack to haul all of our kids' stuff, and it's almost identical to that. Like, really similar to that.
Yeah. Where
there's a Pike Gear also. You guys have seen them.
Yeah.
What I really like about his is his shoulder straps are ultra minimal. They're actually the same material seatbelts in an automotive industry. So it's literally very streamlined. So that one has my interest, but I don't know where I attach my stupid remote, and I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'm kind of intrigued by Pike because he's a grouse hunter like I am. So I know maybe he's thought about it. And there's quite a few guys that run his stuff, and his pants, I guess, are just fantastic also.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you have a pair of those pants? Because
I don't, but everybody I know is like, they're the best pants on the market.
Iowas? Aren't they called Iowa?
They're like Kiowas. He's got like Tongass, and
I knew it was something close.
There's two different types.
Yeah.
One's like more
Kiowas.
Yeah, Kiowas. I've heard those are great, but
well, I'll tell you what, boys. I'm gonna hold on to my game hide vest for the next 25 years, and then I'll make it popular again.
I doubt it.
So it's like
it's a good starter vest.
Yeah.
For someone just getting started, not sure if they're gonna like it. Like, it's a great vest just to get going.
Majority of people probably wear one, right? I mean, if you think about pure numbers wise, right? I
think I had one last year. Josh had one. I'm just thinking of all the guys that we hunted with that. They still have them too.
I had one last year.
Yeah.
I had the Gander Mountain one,
Yep, I had that one too.
Years, I mean, it's a pretty good vest, I thought, for $40 or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they hold up. They do hold up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The versatility of the new vest though is just
ridiculous.
It's awesome, especially just for longer days of field. Like Nick was saying, the shorter days, shorter fields, quick hunts. The game hide does just fine, but for if you're planning on being gone all day and you're walking a couple hours or whatnot, having the versatility of these vests
with the traditional vests, a lot of them, in fact, mine only has one small little water pocket that you have to just kind of jam it in there. It's like an elastic slit. Some of them don't have any water carrying ability, and that's the biggest thing I like about strap vests is the water, because we hunted in North Dakota this year in mid-September. It's 80 degrees. Every walk we went on, I burned through 64 ounces of water and like that, so if you can carry enough water, that's key. And the grouse woods, it's different. I can one bottle of water does me pretty much, but out in the prairie, it's like you're burning through water like crazy.
And I'll say the game hide, wearing that, I have a gun dog outdoor bottle too, and then if I would ever just carry a bottle of water with me, I literally just have them sitting in these stupid pouches, and half the time they're in my way of my arms because they're just sitting right here and I can't do anything with it. So it's super uncomfortable.
They're leaking on you and all that.
Yep. Can't get them to sit up straight. It's like, I had my gun dog outdoor bottle. It was sitting awkward, and then some brush got down in there, so then I couldn't even get water out of my bottle anyway. I was like, wow, shit. So I had to get that cleaned out. So I needed some new functionality.
One of the things you said, Dave, was having like a hole or something in the bottom of the water bottle. So this has a hole there. And the tall one that would fit like your Gatorade style bottle has a mesh bottom.
Oh,
so
nice.
If it leaks, it just comes straight out. But
I like that's the structure, because this doesn't really have any. It's not really a problem, but I wish it kind of had a little structure to it.
Yeah. So these ones, I mean, they don't have the ones that hold like your Nalgene type 32 ounce bottles don't have as much structure per se as your Gatorade personal one. But it does have this nice little stretchy loop that can go right over top of it and hold it in.
I see. Oh, that's cool.
Which is a nice feature to have.
We gotta get you guys training without water. You need to suck it up. You get water after 8 miles walking. None before.
I'll say this.
The dogs would die.
Nate, I've got a Vizsla as well, and he uses probably a quarter of the water that my short hair uses. I mean, it's like, because for years I carry one bottle, and if I used half of it, I was surprised. Now with the short hair, he's more like a lab. I'm just pumping it into him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
an IV.
I carried a water bottle for a decade plus. The dogs just didn't, they all drink out of it, but they just don't need it. And a
Yeah.
lot of the fields that I hunt, there's accessible water and you don't have to deal with contaminants or anything like that. So
Yeah.
they find water, they'll eat snow, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for coming on and sharing your vest. We definitely appreciate it. I think it was super informative. Definitely learned a lot about different types of vests out there. And I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to
Yes, thank you.
be on camera and showing everything. So we're definitely going to post this one on YouTube. I think it'll be most beneficial for people to see the differences of the vest. And I had it set up so you guys are on the big screen when you were showing your vest. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But awesome. Any other questions? Perfect.
No, I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. We
Awesome.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Take care,
Have a
guys.
great
Have a
night.
good night. Bye.